Hey, what's going on, champions? Welcome to Growth Mode. I'm your host, Donnie Boivin, and I'm the CEO and founder of Success Champions, and I've spent over 20 years in the sales game and in the last almost 4 years running my own business. So I've been spending a long damn time figuring out how to get better at sales, how to scale and grow a business, and sharing my story along the way to help out others. Hanging out with me, as always, is my buddy Comin Soon, who is a sales and automation tactician and genius. This dude is an absolute rock star to help you figure out the back end of business. So, on this episode, we talk about how to scale, grow your business, and get out of your own way while you do it. And we usually debate things from the viewpoint of an extrovert and an introvert, or those creepy, weird people. So, on this show, Kevin, what the hell are we talking about?
We are not the creepy, weird people. Today, we are going to talk about why people think winging it on a sales call is a good idea, and why it's actually not.
Very cool. So this is going to be a fun conversation because I'm 50-50 on this. I think on every sales call, I do follow a very similar process and theme. But I do know that when I was with Sandler Training, which is a great training organization, if you don't have a sales process, they will teach you a process, step by step, 7 steps to sell. And I think it's good for people that have never thought about a sales process. But for me, I can't follow a rigid process.
This is true.
In anything, not just sales. So I think I have a system that I've never broke down step by step by step that will get from start of a conversation to we start a new business relationship together. But I am not the hardcore systematic sales guy. But I know you, Kevin, spend more time selling to a system than not, right?
So I systemized how I did the conversation in the sales meetings really early on because I was getting drawn into the bad habit of selling and talking all about me, as opposed to finding out about the client and what they actually had going on and their issues and how we could help so I could then frame a conversation down the road more effectively. So I systemized that really a lot just so I had something to follow and learn from. So I was able to go down, all right, here's the questions I ask, here's how I want to evolve the conversation. And eventually I got to the point where I didn't need the script anymore. And I was able to have those conversations and control the questioning to move how I wanted it to. But I had to have the process to learn that. The other thing about winging it that I see a lot of salespeople do that I want to make sure we touch on too is the whole idea of researching the client before you go meet with them. So for a lot of people, they just show up and have no clue what's going on. Other people, and me, kind of, depending on what I have going on, sometimes I do this a lot, sometimes I don't, but I'll actually go to their website and see what's happening and look at stuff and do the Google alert for a company in the news so I can, have current events to talk about. But some people just go in like, I don't know anything about this person. And so, we're going to find out.
Beginning of this, we said we're going to debate. We're debating today because I realize you and I are opposite on this. Because I am definitely the freaking guy that doesn't research shit. I don't open a website. I don't look at LinkedIn. I don't look at anything. And for me, it allows me to stay completely fucking curious. I don't want to know shit. Because, truthfully, I'm a naturally curious person, and I want to know about somebody's world. I mean, I know at the end of the day, people only have 5, 6, maybe 8 problems they're going to be dealing with. right? So I know it's going to be in one of those wheelhouses. So if I have any sort of system, it's knowing what those things that could be going wrong in their business or their life or whatever else that I'm going to be speaking to. But if I have ammunition, this is why I don't, because anything I know, I'm going to use. And that's a dangerous thing for me, because then it becomes some sort of freaking crutch. But I mean, you're more research built in nature. I mean, that's just how you work. But I've seen you go into sales calls with no information and do just fine.
Yeah, and that's why I said, depending on what I have going on, I don't do the research as much as I used to when the only thing I did was sales. Now I have a few other things going on in my life. But, one of my pet peeves for salespeople is when they come in and the meeting is like, so what are we talking about today? Wait, what? You called me. You set up this meeting. You don't even know what we're talking about. All right, awesome. This is gonna go well. I'm already annoyed.
So how do they unannoy you? I mean, I know how I start a sales call, but how does somebody approach you if they're going to sell something to make it so it's not annoying?
Don't say that.
That's helpful.
But no, I want to have a conversation, and have
said, don't say that.
Yeah, don't say, hey, what are we talking about today?
You heard it straight from Kevin. That's the way to start a sales call is don't say that. Thank you for that wisdom.
But no, I want them to have a conversation and be able to talk intelligently with me and have an idea of what's going on. If they start off, hey, I just saw you guys had a press release and you're launching this thing. How did, that's awesome. And then, tell me more. That's an into a conversation. And it's, especially for your I's and your D's and, the people, they now get to talk about themselves, about something that they're really excited about, because obviously they put out a press release, so they have to be excited. It has to be a big thing for them. So, things like that. Hey, I saw you just got this award. Having that situational awareness is a great way to break down that, well, it's a salesperson versus buyer situation. And it's like, hey, you're actually interested in me, and you did a little research.
Well, I like that approach. I think sometimes you got to be cautious with it, only because if you're dealing with a bigger organization, you have a professional buyer, right? That professional buyer has no idea a press release just went out the damn door, right? They're just disconnected from that space. But my favorite way to start a sales meeting is to get them to tell me where I should go. So I still won't do any research. I don't want to know anything prior to the company whatsoever. But I will sit across from them. And you got to understand, guys, Kevin comes from a tech sales space, so where he's dealing with more technology and the likes. You got to know your shit, and you got to know what they need. But for me, I've always sold, more of a service side of things. And so I'll sit down across from somebody and be like, all right, Kevin, this can go one or two ways. I can roll you through everything our company can do, take you step-by-step functionalities and the likes, or I can ask you a few specific questions about your company, and we can kind of uncover if we're going to be a good fit for each other. How would you like me to proceed? And 9 times out of 10, they'll tell me option 2.
So I think it's really important for me to put a caveat on my whole let's go do a bunch of research statement. You don't want to do so much research that you're coming in with a predisposition to what you think they need.
Yeah,
my research, so when I'm talking about doing research on a client before going out to meet them, is just to, kind of understand, some of the basic information about them, what they have currently going on, the news articles about them, that type of stuff.
Yeah, so go back to listen to episode 15, and we'll talk about why your genius is scaring your clients. Yep. Because we talk about once you start sharing all the shit you start turning them off. So to the reference
I want to be able to know enough stuff so that when they talk about something, it's like, yeah, I saw an article about you guys opening that location, or I saw you all just bought this building downtown. How are you using that? And then I can sound intelligent and not like this, oh, you bought a building? Wow, that's huge. Cool. Tell me about that.
When do I get to sound intelligent? You want to stump a C? Ask a question like that. Too funny.
No, Donnie says lots of smart things. Some of them are technically smart ass.
Right. But the word smart's in there, so that's helpful. So, but yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you still have to sell, not step by step, but you have to go through stages of a sales call. Like, you got to get to know somebody, right? There's got to be some sort of connection. There's got to be some moment of time where you figure out how to connect with the person. There's got to be a transition from that connection point to, okay, let's really dive into your business, right?
It's like the old style sales training pre-internet of when you go into the office and you look at all the pictures and stuff they have on their shelves and their walls to try and figure out what that connection question is.
Dude, funniest fucking moment ever was I had a guy that became a client of mine doing sales training, had all these pictures of what looked like his family behind his desk because he was a super high D and a complete asshole. But he left the picture, and people would come in and goes, "Oh, is that your family?" He'd be like, "No, that's just a picture that came with the frame." He put the pictures up there to try and become more of a nice guy. And he's like, I get so many motherfuckers that would walk into me and go, "Is that your family?" "No, that's just a picture that came with the frame." And it would stump them every time because now they didn't know how to proceed.
That is funny. When we have these Success Champions World Headquarters, I see you doing that. I'll walk into the office and there'll be a brand new picture there. I'm like, oh, Donnie has a new family.
Well, and I think we'll cover in another episode of how we connect with the prospect. How do we open up a sales call? I think that'd be a good episode to do. But to sell, kind of in this system and process way, you've got to know what's next in the moment. You got to know what that next stage is and where you're going, because at some point, you got to uncover, how can you help them? If you can help them, you're going to have to uncover, price at some point, what they're willing to pay, can they afford what you're selling, and then you got to get to some poor stage of like a closing stage. And if you've ever heard Kevin and I talk, we don't talk about closing. We talk about starting a relationship, but most people wrap their head around the phrasing closing. So, but you've got to sell towards some sort of rhythmic process, because if you don't, you're going to go to the wing it method and you're going to be all over the map. Every one of us has sat across from a salesperson that next thing you know, an hour's up and you didn't accomplish a fucking thing. And that person goes, but I'm still doing my presentation or whatever else. You've got to have some sort of system and process in place.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's so much stuff that goes on in that initial meeting where you're trying just to figure out who's who and what's what and how, if there's a reason that you even should keep talking to each other. That if you don't have some sort of system in place on how you do that, you're going to end up wasting a lot of each other's time. You're really good at it, and you go into the meetings with the goal of, hey, my goal is to disqualify this person, and you have a way that you do it
every time, and it's the same every time.
Exactly. But what a lot of people miss for sales, because they don't have the system down, they haven't looked at how they do it. They don't. One of the things they always miss is, where does this person belong in the decision tree? Does this person actually get to make the decision, or are they going to be bringing a bunch of other people in that are going to sidetrack my sales process? Because that's always fun. It's when you get to the closing, it's like, well, now I'm going to take it to the owner. What? God damn it!
Right,
son of a bitch. So, and that's why it's important to have that process for how you're going to go into a sales call. is it you need to understand, hey, this is a one call close, or is there a multiple step process we have to go through? And
I love it.
Go ahead.
We keep jumping over each other today. Fuck. I'm always right, Kevin. It's always my turn to speak, damn it.
His mouth will always be moving if that was the case.
This is true. So, but it's funny, even standing in front of rooms, man, when I would say, okay, how many of you have an accounting process? Everybody would raise their hand. How many of you have an operational process? Everybody raise their hand. I'm like, how many of you have a process to take the fucking trash out? And everybody kind of laugh and joke. And I'm like, how many of you have a sales process? Fucking crickets. Right? You have to have some sort of sales process. From how do you find them? Right? How do you get them engaged? How do you get them to a meeting? What does that meeting look like? How does it run? What happens after they say yes? What happens after they say no? What's an onboarding process look like? You've got to have an entire system mapped out to know how to move forward. So I think the biggest thing to take away from this episode is don't just wing it. Figure out your rhythm, your process, your system, something that allows you to stay consistently going in the right direction on the sales call, so you don't get to a spot and you stall out going, oh, fuck, what's next? So, as always, guys, if you got any value out of this episode, this show, share this with a friend. Do us a favor and share it out, because it means everything for us. Follow us on the platforms. We'd appreciate it. But we love hearing from you guys as well. So if there's any questions, tips, or tricks, you guys have, send them to us. We always love getting those in. So as always, guys, thanks for listening to Growth Mode, and we'll catch you next time.